Xin chào and hello everyone. My name is Kyle and I work for a company called Rikkesoft. It is my pleasure to talk to you today about the global AI industry, especially within the countries of Vietnam and Japan. So, today's agenda will be discussing the global AI industry as well as particularly the industries of Vietnam and Japan. After that, we'll be touching on what AI projects are active within both countries, and I will be introducing a little bit about my own company, Rikkesoft. So let's talk about the global AI industry. As of last year, 2019, it is valued at 39.9 billion USD. Now, this amount is expected to grow by a rate of 42.2% between the year 2020, this year, and 2027, which is 7 years from now. And by 2027, it is expected to reach a revenue of $733.7 billion. That's quite a massive amount. Now, despite all the bad news around COVID-19, there is a silver lining. It is expected to stimulate the growth of the AI industry due to many businesses mandating work from home policies. So now would be the time to consider investing within the AI industry. First, let's talk about the country that I am currently based in, which is the beautiful country of Vietnam. So, what's the first thing you think of when you think of Vietnam? Is it beautiful girls in Ao Dai? I happen to think that you should think innovation when you think of Vietnam. Now, according to the Global Innovation Index, Vietnam is currently ranked 42nd. Now, this might sound like a low number at first. However, you must consider that this would place Vietnam in 10th place in all of Asia and APAC, including Australia and Japan, which means that Vietnam is a country that punches far above its weight class in terms of innovation and AI. Not only that, but as of this year, Vietnam has overtaken Singapore and Malaysia to become the fourth largest economy in all of Southeast Asia. And we have even more good news. Despite the influence of the COVID-19 pandemic, Vietnam is one of the few countries projected this year to actually grow instead of contract in terms of economic growth. So, now would be the time to consider looking at Vietnam for where to sell your AI products. The AI industry in Vietnam is currently booming. This is not also to mention that Vietnam has mostly moved past the R&D phase of the AI industry. This means that they're investing in such things as AI in education, in the medical field, in agriculture. As of 2014, the Vietnamese government has actually noticed this incredible growth and is considering AI a breakthrough technology that needs to be prioritized in terms of research and development. To this end, at the end of 2019, Vietnam established the National Innovation Center in order to compete internationally. What more, they've also invested in high technology. Also, in support of this, they've also invested in technology parks in which to focus on research and development. These would include the Hoa Loc High-Tech Park in Hanoi, or the Saigon High-Tech Park in Ho Chi Minh City, as well as the Da Nang High-Tech Park in Da Nang. Due to all this infrastructure, Vietnamese universities are paying attention. For example, the Hanoi University of Science and Technology is raising admission standards in order to ensure that only the cream of the crop are able to get access to their AI research and development centers. And this is actually paying off. As of 2020, 50 billion IoT devices are used domestically within Vietnam. And you can see this in many different places, such as the smart traffic systems in Ho Chi Minh City, or the smart city systems of Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, Da Nang, or even Quang Tri. What more, there are even self-driving cars with obstacle avoidance, as well as investments in med technology, forest and agriculture, as well as systems in order to defend against denial of service attacks. Let's talk about Japan. So, Japan is not ranked nearly as high as you would think. Now, why is this? This is not due to any defunct in Japanese technology. It's rather that they focus less on machine learning and more on production. This is due to Japan's role as the leader in robot production and industrial use, exporting more than 1.6 billion worth of industrial robots in 2016, much more than the next 5 biggest exporters combined. Due to this emphasis, Japan focuses less on hard AI and more on soft AI, which would help support face-to-face interactions. So noticing this weakness, though, Japan has actually started investing in foreign R&D centers in countries such as the US. Toyota and Hitachi are doing this. And this will become more and more essential in the future as Japan's population ages and will have less of a youthful workforce to fill its factories. Because of this focus on R&D, we can safely say that Japan is well under its way into the commercial phase of its operations. In support of this, as of this year even, Japan has announced the beginning of preferential funding for 4 regions in Japan in order to facilitate the growth of their own Japanese Silicon Valley. Because of this, the AI technology industry is expected to generate a revenue of about 121 trillion Japanese yen by 2045. With all this focus on Japanese Silicon Valleys, the AI technology industry is expected to generate a revenue of 121 trillion Japanese yen by 2045. Moreover, the transport sector is expected to reach a revenue of 30.5 trillion by the year 2030. This is how important that this will play in the Japanese industry. Not only that, because of Japan's already stated nature as a manufacturing giant, this will also be generating a profit of 12.2 trillion by the year 2030. Now, with all this focus on AI, it's very easy to see that it's already widely used in society. You can see this with Mizuho Bank's customer support system, with West Japan Railway's customer service in order to identify intoxicated passengers, as well as different recruitment firms using AI to find the right people for the right job. As you can safely see, the markets in both Japan and Vietnam are booming and ready for the next innovation and game changer in the AI industries. So let's talk about products currently on the market. One of those is the 999 Hope app. Now, this is an app marketed towards the visually impaired. Governments across the world try their best to support the visually impaired members of society, but unfortunately, they're not always able to help them. That's where the 9999 Hope app comes in. The 9999 Hope app is very nifty. It can identify common objects such as flowers or food, but most importantly, it can identify money under a load of different situations, such as in the dark or in moving situations. This is very important as the visually impaired are not always able to see whether they have $1 or 5 or 10 in front of them. And through using this app, they're able to make transactions without having to worry about someone ripping them off. The 9999 app has actually been featured on national television within Vietnam and is currently used by more than 100,000 people across the country.
Nhận được món quà này, anh Đạt có thể tiếp cận với lượng thông tin khổng lồ và nhanh chóng. Điều mà trước đây là rất khó khăn với một người khiếm thị như anh. Chỉ với việc bấm vào thiết bị kết nối với điện thoại rồi ra lệnh bằng giọng nói, anh có thể nghe tin tức, gọi điện nhắn tin, thông tin về tài chính tiền tệ hay là nghe dự báo thời tiết một cách dễ dàng.
Hiện tại thời tiết như thế nào?
Nhiệt độ tại Hà Nội lúc này là 32 độ C, nhiệt độ dao động trong khoảng từ 25 tới 36 độ C. 500.000 đồng, 500.000 đồng, 500.000 đồng, 100.000 đồng, 100.000 đồng, 100.000 đồng, 100.000 đồng.
Talk about children's education now. As society shifts from Industry 4.0 to 5.0, it'll be important to become innovative. This will mean robots. For those familiar with the game of Go, AlphaZero proved that robots hold infinite potential. This is where the children's robot Luna comes in. Now, Luna is capable of doing a lot of different things, such as recognizing faces, listening to commands such as go straight or go right, and will even help children with their learning.
Luna,
Tới đây, cậu gọi gì tớ thế?
tiến thẳng,
Tiến lên nào.
lùi xuống,
Tớ đang lùi xuống nè.
bài bé lên 3,
Có phải cậu muốn nghe bài và em bé lên 3 đúng không?
không, bật bài bé lên 3,
Có phải cậu muốn nghe bài bé lên 3 đúng không?
đúng rồi,
Mình cùng nghe bài bé lên 3 nhé.
As can be seen, AI is placing a larger and larger part of the everyday lives of the people of both Vietnam and Japan, as well as across the world. So, what do we think of those products? Are they interesting? Well, I have good news for you. My company happens to be the developer of them. So, for those interested in hearing about my company, let's talk about Rikesoft. Rikesoft was founded in 2012 by 5 alumni of the Keio and Ritsumeikan universities. Currently, it is at about 1,200 employees spread across 5 cities in 2 countries. The revenue growth rate of the company has been about 183% every year, at least as of 2019. And it has won several awards such as the Japan Best Venture 100, the Vinasa, the Sao Hui, and 2 of its founders are alumni of the Forbes 30 Under 30. It is one of the top 5 largest ICT companies within Vietnam, and it even has its own subsidiary dedicated to AI called Rike AI, headed by the very intelligent and very smart Dang Tai Hoa. So Rikesoft has 6 services. It offers business processing systems, web systems, AI, mobile app and game development, IoT and embedded systems development, and quality assurance. In addition to our 6 services, we also have our own in-house BPO team, which we established to help support our AI subsidiary. Because of this, it has a wealth of experience in a variety of fields such as finance, transportation, and smart city. This is actually a department that we are willing to sell its services. And I can assure you that it's a service you'll be very interested in due to it being very experienced, able to form teams quickly at your request, highly accurate, cost effective. On top of all this, it has its own in-house tool called Recano, which comes with a variety of different features, as well as more planned for the future. To conclude, the AI industry seems to be encountering a second or even a first platinum age, in where it is advancing and developing at a rapid rate. We can see this with the countries of Japan and Vietnam. Now, on this note, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening to me speak. It has been an honor. And if you should ever wish to communicate with me in the future, my company is Rikesoft, and we would love to work with you in the future. Thank you very much.